Josh Heupel has two former offensive coordinators who are now 2-0 and looking very good as head coaches. His first former offensive coordinator to be a head coach was Alex Golesh, who obviously was Tennessee's offensive coordinator during the legendary 2022 season. He was Heupel's offensive coordinator in 2020 at UCF, and then 2021 and 2022 at Tennessee. After going 7-6 for 2 years in a row at South Florida, Golesh is now 2-0 at South Florida, with wins over last year's Group of 5 team to make the college football playoff, Boise State, and at Florida, getting them to number 18. They now face Miami this week on the road, interestingly enough. I think, I told you guys in my rankings, they should be number 1 as of right now, just due to body of work. Interestingly enough, one of his co-offensive coordinators this year is Cody Burns, who was a receivers coach for Tennessee under Golesh and Heupel in 2021. Meanwhile, Jeff Lebby. If 2022 was the season Heupel burst onto the scene as a head coach for what he was able to do at Tennessee, his first year at UCF was really what established him, because he did take a team that had gone undefeated the year before, and he installed a completely new offense. And with Jeff Lebby as his quarterbacks coach, he went undefeated that year in the regular season, repeating what Scott Frost had done the year before. And then after repeating what Scott Frost had done the year before, they did lose their bowl game that year, which Scott Frost won the bowl game, but bowl games were meaningless even back then. Jeff Lebby became Heupel's offensive coordinator in 2019, and then he coached under Lane Kiffin in 2020 and 2021, and under, funny enough, Brent Venables in 2022 and 2023 before becoming offensive coordinator. Lebby's successor, Seth Littrell, at Oklahoma, was fired last year and is now an analyst for Heupel. All of this is to say that Josh Heupel has two offensive... Sorry, I didn't finish this point out. Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby's first year there, went 2-10. But he inherited a team that was still dealing with the aftermath of Mike Leach's death, which happened at the end of 2022. As we remember, Zach Garnett went 5-7 last year. I thought he maybe had gotten a raw deal. He had a really tough job, but Jeff Lebby came in to install a completely new offense. The team was gutted, went 2-10. But this year, he's got Mississippi State at 2-0. Now, Jeff Lebby and Alex Golesh both run the Heupel offense with the wide splits. Here's what's interesting about this. They're having success more with defense right now than offense. They scored 24 points in a win over Arizona State, Mississippi State did last week. Only 34 against Southern Miss. South Florida, since Alex Golesh has been there, has been more of a defensive team, funny enough, even though Golesh is an offensive mind. We just saw them beat Florida 18-16. And last year, they were 33rd in points per game. Now, they were 99th in opponents' points per game, so they were still more offense. And they've been more offensive defense, but they've been winning with defense specifically this year against Boise State and Florida. What does this all mean? Well, Josh Heupel, and this is going to be Bank on It, brought to you by Commercial Bank member FDIC, Life Made Better. Josh Heupel is about to initiate a gigantic coaching tree of offensive minds all over the country on Nick Saban's level as an overall coaching tree. Josh Heupel's offensive coaching tree will reach Nick Saban level of success before it's all said and done. That is Bank on It, brought to you by Commercial Bank. Member FDIC, Life Made Better.
Commercial Bank is your neighborhood bank. What makes us different from other banks? We understand that every customer has unique opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. We don't expect you to fit into the same box as the next person or business. Whether it's purchasing a home, saving for your child's future, or planning for your next vacation, we're with you every step of the way to navigate life's big decisions. Commercial Bank. Life made better.
Bank on it. That's right. Josh Heupel's coaching tree on offense will rival that of Nick Saban soon enough. That's going to be my poll question. With Jeff Lebby and Alex Golesh having success, is Heupel's coaching tree about to rival Nick Saban's? Or will Heupel's coaching tree one day, with Jeff Lebby and Alex Golesh's success? There we go. All right, I got it. Sorry, guys. A little bit of issues. With Jeff Lebby's and Alex Golesh's success, will Heupel's coaching tree one day rival Nick Saban's? Yes or no? Vote on that with the poll question now. It won't overall, but it is going to rival Nick Saban's offensively. Now, let me talk about this offense real quick with the wide splits, because it's a big deal. Josh Heupel, the offense looks like it's back where it used to be this year. Josh Heupel's thrown new wrinkles in it. USC and Lincoln Riley also run the wide splits. And last year they were 7-5, and the offense was a major disappointment. We talked about Nico Imaliava being a disappointment at Tennessee, and the offense not being what it was. Well, low-key, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the wide splits offense is actually having more success again at USC. They've only played Missouri State and Georgia Southern, to be fair, but they're averaging 66 points a game as of right now. That's right, 66 points a game USC is averaging. That's insane, okay? That is beyond insane, and I'm telling you guys this right now. Heupel with the wide splits is the wide splits offense is back and making a comeback, and now Heupel's got offensive coordinators having success with it under him. He's only had 2. Joey Halzle's his third. Now, I want to point out that Joey Halzle is not, and this is a big deal, Joey Halzle himself may be the first wrinkle in this. Because one of the reasons, part of the wide splits in this offense, the veer and shoot having success, is you can't just run the system. You have to have wrinkles that you're willing to install in the system. Okay, Alex Golesh would always script first drives. That was his big thing. Jeff Lebby had pro concepts in his route running, in his routes for receivers. That was a big thing for Jeff Lebby, and he had some pro concepts for the quarterback. He actually had them scan the whole field a little more than Alex Golesh did. Alex Golesh would script the first drive of each half to throw new wrinkles in. Joey Halzle just runs the system. Josh Heupel had to step in and throw new wrinkles in with Seth Littrell as an analyst this offseason. So I'm going to predict this. Joey Halzle will get a coaching job. I'm sorry, but for him, it won't work out unless, again, he hires an offensive coordinator he stays with offensive coordinators that can be creative. And that's because Joey Halzle doesn't throw wrinkles in the offense. This offense needs the wrinkles, needs the scripted plays that are different from the actual system that you run throughout the entire game, because that's the other way to keep the defense honest in this system. I think Josh Heupel is going to continue to have success with coaches, though, regardless of what happens. Look, Joey Halzle is going to get a head coaching job. Seth Littrell will be promoted to offensive coordinator. Seth Littrell will go get a head coaching job. Alex Golesh and Jeff Lebby themselves are good coaches. Alex Golesh is going to get a head coaching job at a burger school after this year. Heupel's coaching tree is going to really take off, and that's going to help him in a big way recruiting. I see a note that Heupel's actually part of the Steve Spurrier coaching tree. I mean, indirectly, that is true. He played and coached under Bob Stoops, who coached under Steve Spurrier, which is kind of interesting. Now, the difference between that and Josh Heupel with this is Steve Spurrier's fingerprints are not on Bob Stoops. Steve Spurrier ran the offense and let Bob Stoops run the defense and do whatever he wanted to do. Interestingly enough, Josh Heupel's fingerprints are all over what Alex Golesh and Jeff Lebby are doing, similar to how Nick Saban's fingerprints were all over what Kirby Smart was doing. It's more, these guys are direct proteges of Heupel, interestingly enough. Stoops was just the defensive guy, the guy to run the defense while Spurrier ran the offense at Florida. But yes, I do believe Josh Heupel is about to have a coaching tree that rivals that of Nick Saban, particularly on the offensive side. 57% of you guys agree with me. Yes, he will. 43% say no. Now, here's the concern for that if you're Tennessee. Can Josh Heupel continue to have success as he has a rotation of coordinators coming through? I believe so. If you are truly a good coach, you can replace your staff at will because it's your offense, it's your system, and you just make sure you hire the right guys to throw the right wrinkles in. Josh Heupel seems like he's going to, on the offensive side, just develop people up that he hires and promotes from as offensive analysts. And I think the part of that is the stability that he wants to keep on the offensive side. That's a little bit different from Nick Saban, who went and hired out for guys a lot of times, and then he just ran the defense and ran the offense with them. Nick Saban was so involved, guys. It was insane. I see why he retired. He pretty much took over that offense at Alabama in 2021 or 2023, excuse me. And that was a big deal. But yes, I think Josh Heupel's coaching tree is going to be extremely deep when it's all said and done.